And right now I will show you like very surprising model you never saw before, how usually you do Agile transformation. I'm quite sure you never saw that. Yeah, so, and all those previous, but stop smoking. I am a smoking person myself, so I can tell you that this doesn't work. It doesn't, and it doesn't matter how many times you're told that. Why? Because I have beliefs. And my beliefs are about smoking are that this is my time to relax, and if you smoke less than 15 cigarettes per day, it doesn't harm your health. That's my beliefs. So, and for me to change my beliefs, I need to get different experiences. So when we come to do transformation, it all starts with experiences. If people have bad experiences, they will have wrong beliefs. When they have wrong beliefs, they really will behave according to those beliefs. And then when those beliefs, of course, those actions come to the results. My first interaction with Agile was looking at the teams working in Agile way, and I was like very serious traditional project manager. I was thinking that it's like a team of kids playing cards. We do serious stuff here, you know. Why? Because we were doing very serious projects. And then when one day I figure out that my very serious projects and my very serious tool, they don't really work in different environment, I became the one who was playing cards. So basically, when you want to do the transformation or change anything, please focus on experience you create for the team. Who of you are managers here? Quite few. Who are Scrum Masters? And who are team members? So we have very mixed audience. And this principle, it applies absolutely to all. When you work in the Scrum team, it's very important that you would focus on the team atmosphere and what is your team actually results and your team goals and your team mood that you are doing that. If you are leaders, it's very important that those experiences transforming into would be positive. And then further on, we would say, I will talk about how to create those experiences. So very naturally, start with planning. And what means planning in terms of transformation? First of all, it's very important to start with why. You'll be surprised, but very often when you come to the company, you hear that why you decided that you want to try Agile. You know, because nothing else works and it's something trendy today. So it's the worst reason to start using Agile running. And that's the primary cause why we create bad experiences. When people are told to do something and they don't really get why. How to get that why? So basically, even if you don't know why you're doing that, go and get that answer. It will be very surprising that it's not so hard to figure out and get that why. Because usually we have that why. Simply cascading down was somewhere lost in translations. Another thing which one do you prefer? Who prefers car? Okay, and who is for the sales bot? And the rest don't care or want to have both? Okay, so actually that's how we choose frameworks, methodologies, and anything. We don't even ask where we are going. We choose something that we like. And even the problem starts bad experience, because why are you using very good tool in very wrong place? And then what experience you create? That it's nonsense. Why we are forced to do something what doesn't work? Going further, it's very important to have result. And coming back to that results pyramid. You know, those partners in leadership, they actually made a research. They came to the company, to the hotels, big hotels network, and they started to start asking, so what's your goal? So of course, they started with managers in the room. There were few. They got several goals. They were a bit different, but they were about the same. They were about the % of the revenue. So a few of them, they say 5, some of them said 7, but at the end of the day, it was about revenue. And then they came to the table boy. You know who's the table boy? The ones who clean the table at the restaurant. preparing to another client. And they asked him, so what's your result you want to achieve? And he said like, so to clean the table as clean as possible. Then they came to security guard. So what's your key result here? And they said like, oh, so my result, of course, to make that everybody feels secure. And then they go further, further, and further. And they figure out that somebody starts to talk about revenue. It's -1 level from the senior management. So what happens there? People, they figure out their goals. So they are trying to do their best. And the answers are very logical, but it doesn't really help company to achieve those results. And then after they completed their work, they came to the same table boy and they asked, so what's your work about? So what's your result? So we need to earn % of the revenue. Okay, so how you are contributing to that by cleaning the tables? And he said that I need to clean table as fast as possible to serve as many clients as possible during the evening to make sure that we collect more money. And then they came to all the same, and everybody figure out so how they contribute to the goal. You know what usually happens? That we have result, and then each of the department was cascading them. So I can tell you that at level 4, one company already had, the department has the most important things to focus on. And of course, ideally, if you can influence the company strategy, everybody needs to think about the same 3 results. Of course, they will differ. Of course, table boy is not directly earning those 5% of revenue, but how I can contribute to the major goal. And then if we have like conflict of those results, so then which one of them contributes more to the end result? And be very transparent. Use all those visualization tools. What does it mean if we do something else? Because, of course, sometimes we cannot decide. Agree. But then we can show what's the consequence of changing the focus or shifting the direction. Another lesson that I already learned, that some of the companies, when they say that we do agile transformation, they go to the team level. They introduce Scrum, Kanban, Scrumban, whatever, and they say that we are done, we are agile. And then I believe that every team, they're really transforming their way of work. They have way to improve. But then, actually, there is the bottom line when they cannot improve if organization doesn't change. And then what you hear from the teams. You hear, you know, yep, but we are a team of 9 people. We have 9 managers. They all have different goals. We need to do many work outside the team. And then how should we transform? Another is that, you know, but our budgeting is still, or our reporting is still done in the old way. And we need to say that I need a deadline for the project with the release date, and you need to be confident about that. And it's 1-year project. Please give me precise deadline and precise budget. And be agile, by the way. Or another experience was that, okay, release to production like every day. You know, Amazon is releasing 11.6, every 11.6 seconds, you need to do the same. And then the tooling, the architecture, all the engineering practices, it's even logically impossible. So Agile is not only about some meetings, some ceremonies, way of thinking, but it's much more. And when you do Agile transformation, there are many different things that you need to think about. And if you, as a company, you start transforming the teams, but you will not do the rest of those, they will reach the maximum of their results, and then they will start to be demotivating. Why they will start to be demotivated? Because they say that many things that prevents us of being more efficient. But we don't want to go back to the old way of work. So that's very important in parallel to think about those other things and invest into the people. Because, you know, we say that Agile should come with mindset and culture. Agree, really the best one. We all know that culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? So again, what I already told. It's very important to create new beliefs about the managerial side as well. Because what usually, okay, not usually, but sometimes happen. Managers are sent to some trainings. They come back from those trainings like, whew, now I will be completely different manager. Then now I will be empowering people. So you are allowed to do anything you want. And that I will try completely new managerial style. And then the team was not even prepared for that. Because it's not a team, it's a group of people who are very used to get the task. And they say like, what? So you need to decide. And that team, actually group, tries to decide something. What they have fight, or they have silence. And they come back to the managers and say that, no, better you decide. Because, you know, we actually cannot decide on our own. We are fighting, so we need someone to decide for us. And then the manager is like, okay, it was nice training, but it doesn't work. But, you know, because we need to change, not that we need to transform the managers, it's clear to everybody already. But sometimes we forget that another side is the team. And in Agile, we ask team to work differently. We want them to trust each other. We want them to overcome the conflict. We want them actually to commit and own something. Very often we get requests, can you make our people more ownership mindset, more accountability? But it comes together with the commitment and not being afraid of conflicts and say that I do not agree with something that you ask me to do. And then, you know, it's like, in my head, it's like a picture. When manager, after the trainings, is prepared to drop the ball, like, okay, now I give the ball to you. And then he's like, bang to the team. And it flies straight to the head. You have knockout. And then managers say, okay, I told you, it doesn't work, that teamwork. So that responsibility that I empower people, it should come not only from actually managers' will to empower people, but team needs to be ready to catch the ball and to have that ownership and responsibility and trust and conflicts and so on. So that's very important to understand that team as well need help in becoming teams. Otherwise, you can be best at Scrum, it doesn't work. Going to another lesson that I learned in doing phase is understanding the implication. It's already what I told you about, like getting strict deadline with strict budget and do it agile way. But the same is about being accountable for the transformation as a leader. Because if you hire best consultant, best transformation office, you can hire from internally or externally agile coaches and tell them, now you own the transformation, do it. And they come to the people, to the managers, and they say, you know, but we have different priorities right now. We don't have actually time for your agile things. We can come later, but it's like 1 hour per week. And then when you ask to do like reporting how transformation is going, nobody from the management shows up, and then agile coaches do the reporting, how agile transformation works. And then managers are not responsible for way of work. And then sometimes what happens that agile transformation can disturb you to work. So it's very important that managers, leaders, own the transformation. Otherwise, people say that, yeah, you are coaching me to be agile, but our managers, they don't care. They come still with very different requests. So what we can do about that? So your agile, it's not designed for our company. Sorry to tell you that. So that's very important that, first of all, you get managers to understand the application and agree with them. And then very often we ask, so where to get the budget for transformation? Costs. So budget usually should come from the things which you stop doing. But if we don't, then what happens? We say that, guys, we need to start doing agile transformation. Yeah, but we first need to finish all those 20 projects. They are too important to do agile on them. And then we have one more project. It's very as well important. We cannot do agile as well on them. And then after 8 months, we can start. But actually after 8 months, it's again bad timing. So if we already decided that we want to change way of work, it's very important to understand that what we stop doing, what we will not do. That we stop starting, start finishing thing. So that decision is a very tough one. Because, you know, we have like, imagine that you all get new car in 12 months. You all get new car in 12 months. But then we can have another option. Some of you will get it in 1 month. Some of you will get the same car in 2 months. Somebody in 3, 4, 5, 6, but somebody will get in 12. Can you agree who get after 1 month and who after 12? And that's the magic. When we say focus, you will all get it at 12 months. Everybody's fine. But then suddenly somebody will say like, ha, see, I have new car. When you will get that? In 11 months, mine will be already old by then. So, you know, and that's the same happening with the projects. When we say like, please, guys, focus on new things, it's easy to say that. But when somebody needs to get the results later on, sometimes it's a trouble to agree. And who then actually gets the bad mood is the team, who say that, yeah, you tell us focus, show us how to do that. Then again, my suggestion is that please try to discuss for your team at least and show it visibly to stakeholders what does it mean. So checking. After we're doing the things, it's very important to check those, right? So what's about checking? You need to know what you measure. Because very often mostly all the disagreements about the new way of working come from not being safe. Because if we measure department result, personal result, suddenly we say that no, right now you have end result you are all accountable for. And it's quite easy if you are the first team in the row, right? But if you are like 10th, and then 9 of them can fail before you, and then you will be still responsible for that all result, and your team result will be bad because like it's bottlenecks, and right now you're not accountable only for your department result, but for all the chain. If you're not only responsible how much you do at work, but the team does at work. And then people say like, but how I'll be evaluated at the end of the day? Can you tell me? How my manager, who is not Scrum Master, will know that I am efficient if I don't write any kind of code, but all the time consult someone? So it's very important not to do that mistake at the end, that if we decide that now you are accountable for some kind of end result, and then still measure and do all the evaluation according to the department or personal result. Because then it's simply what it costs level of insecurity. And then people say that right now I want to be efficient. So I stop doing that thing and go to work on my own. So it's very important not to stop measuring at the wrong place. Another thing, in Agile we say that people solve everything. We will be very friendly. We have open-minded. We have open conversations. We have trust. And then we have a conflict. And nobody knows who can solve him. Why? Because simply in Agile, we don't think that something can go wrong. But it does. And sometimes you still need to know who can solve the problems. And if you don't agree at the beginning, then you can be in the trouble of coping with the situations of personal and another relationship for a very long time, which actually can stop all the thing. So you very clearly need to define what is the escalation path and that people still know where to go if they cannot resolve conflicts on their own. And who is the key decision maker if we don't agree for the long time. And when you do the transformation, it's very important, you know, especially when, as a company, if I sold company the idea that let's do the transformation, as a manager, I really want it to succeed. And then what we do, we put like a pink glasses on. And we say that even if it's all go wrong, everything is fine. We're still doing that great. So during the transformation, we really need to understand that sometimes it does go wrong. Sometimes we do experiment, we scale it, and it fails. And we figure out that, yes, it worked there, it doesn't work there. So it's very important After that, when we actually act on that, scale only those which are successful. But when we scale unsuccessful one, be not afraid to change. Because sometimes we say that something wrong with that team. Maybe nothing wrong with that team. It simply doesn't work for them. And then, but no, we already started the transformation. We know the blueprint, so we need to do it everywhere. And then we are afraid that sometimes it may happen that we need completely to change all direction. We need completely new plan. So doing the transformation, we become not agile ourselves because it should work. And then we come to the team and they say, but hi, it doesn't work. And we say it should work by the book. According to our idea, it should work. And then what teams feels? Like, okay, I give up then. So summarizing, when you know that it's fake. So first of all, when we start transformation, just because it's trendy word. I'm really glad that it's less right now waterfall versus agile, boo. But right now we have another one, safe versus less, and so on. So we're still having those things which are trendy or not trendy, cool, not cool. So it's very important to understand why you are doing that. And then according to the why, actually measure the progress. Another thing, you need to know how you measure. If you don't know what's the North Star key result you want to achieve, then it's bad because you will not be able to know how you get there. People are more open. So show me, how can you tell me that people are more open? People are more happy. Okay, at least employees engagement rating, I can agree with that, okay? But then we are delivering faster, 1% faster. It's already faster? It's good enough? Are we done? We are more flexible according to our client needs. What does it mean? It's all like blah, blah, blah. When we have such kind of results, it's very hard to measure that we are there, not there, how far away from there. Because it sounds the same that right now we all run west. And what west mean? For someone it's America, for someone it's UK, for someone it's Klaipėda, for someone Vilnius Vakarinis aplinkelis, which is like a road. And we need different kind of like commitment to do that. And if people cannot see what kind of level of commitment it should be, they cannot discuss whether they are in or out. So it's very important to know the result. Then, of course, transforming the culture, but not only introducing Agile for team, but introducing Agile on company level. If we are doing just on the team level, again, yes, then it's one of the tool set that you use for projects, but let's not call it the company Agile transformation, because it's called wrong expectations. After that, we need to take someone of the people who already been there, did that before, and can guide you through, to give you support and to discuss in different situations. Then you know how to measure success, how to scale the experiments, and to get actually everybody sold with the idea, starting the managers and ending up the teams. And you know what's the nightmare or the heaven for the Agile consultant? It's this one. When everybody is not talking that Agile is going to solve all the problems. Because usually we say that let's introduce Agile, it will solve all our problems. It's not solving your personal problems. It's not solving sometimes relationship problems. It's not solving structure problems if you do not change it. So just having some tools on some level, it doesn't change the result. Thank you. Do we have questions?
Do you hear me? Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. I have a question for you. So what would you choose, a car or a boat?
I would ask, where do we travel?
Okay, so do we have any questions from the audience? If you want to get this nice water bottle, please ask questions. And Aliona will choose the one that she likes the most and will give this to you. So please do it. No questions?
I was very clear. How do I prepare team for the change? So first of all, team needs to understand what's the difference between group and the team. Because sometimes group of people is called a team. Or even sometimes from the people who don't need to be a team would try to build a team. But then they have even goal. So what I do, first of all, for me, it's at least 5 dysfunctions of the team. Teach the team how to become a team, what means trust building, conflicts handling, how to have feedback culture, actually how to talk openly. Because very often team, says that, Alona, can you talk to that guy? Because we have a problem with him. Can you talk to him yourself? No, we have such a good relationship, we don't want to spoil them. So actually that's real cases. So it's very important to understand that if you cannot talk to someone, it's not good relationship, it's absence of trust. So at least to understand them. It's situational leadership, understanding what's the actually overcoming to the change, what the change curve, storming, norming, performing, adjourning, whatever. So at least give them some of the tools, which usually we give to the managers. Because if we believe that it's like self-organizing team, so they need to know how to self-organize. Because we teach them how to do Agile, how to do Scrum, how to do Kanban, we don't teach them how to be a team. And that's very important that they would understand and own those things as well. So they need to have tools to be a team. Did I answer your question? It's about the goal, because when it's fun to work together, usually it's the second part, like what you try to achieve. And if your end result is like having fun, if it's fun for fine for the company, let's do that. But usually it's not fine, right? Then team usually has a goal. And if it has a goal, then they usually, if it's fun together, they try to achieve that at any cost. And then we even see such very rare cases as self-managed team, and so on, where they can hire and let go people. I saw those cases in Lithuania as well, and they worked. So basically, it's about the result, what we want to achieve, and about the goals. So that's the safeguard usually. Okay, when I came and I thought that I know the best. I know better, and people were telling me that, it will not work, and I said, it will. Here is the book. I wrote it. It's very smart.
Any more questions?
What to do? First of all, Agile is a set of tools and frameworks, right? We have so many. And as well, I would say that I doubt that nothing works. So first of all, I would say that find the person who has wide tool set and wide context. It means that not only, for example, Scrum, and like you need to do Scrum, right? But many other tools and frameworks. And ask for consultancy in their team. We have, by the way, there today by Agile Coach LT, so they can work. But it's most that find the person who has wide tool set, not only like 1 or 2, and try to discuss with him what elements could work in your team. And then come with proposal that we will do still Agile, but a bit of different, because our context a bit of different. So talks, arguments, and data, plus having the person who already tried that before in different contexts. And then I believe that's the way forward. Because I fully believe that it's like copy-paste from one to another team. It could be different, and you may be fully right that it doesn't work in your team.